Hello and welcome to Victoriana. It's the beginning of September and it's stopped raining and being cold and horrible like it was for quite a big lump of August. I'm in the veg tunnel. I suppose it's a chilli tunnel now actually, because we've all but finished the tomatoes. Tomato week went quite well, but obviously we had the hot weather before, so quite a few varieties sort of disappeared before it got to the week. So we're not quite sure what we're going to do next year about that. But no, so now we're sorting out the chilies, because obviously we've got Chili Fest coming up. That's the 7th and 8th of October. Let's hope it's as nice a day as it is today, because yeah, it's a cracking day. And as I say, we've had wet and horrible weather through quite a lump of August, and now it's cheered up a bit. Yeah, so back to Chili Fest. I think we've got about 180 varieties that we're going to have on taste this year. We've got some fantastic street food stalls as well this year. We've got Indian, we've got Italian, we've got local game, then obviously we've got all our other stalls. We've got things like the jewellery and crafts, and all in all it promises to be a great weekend, so we'd love to see lots and lots of you there. But here in the tunnel, fantastic crop of chilies this year, and they have got a cracking heat already. Some of them are slowly killing us already. So give it another month and we're going to have some wonderful fruit, some wonderful varieties, and hopefully it's going to be great fun. But meantime, I'll give you a quick run around the nursery and show you what we're doing elsewhere. So here in the bubble, we did get through the fuchsias, got them all trimmed down, and they've obviously all broken back into growth and are flowering at a sensible height again. Obviously it's getting a bit too late to plant these out now, and we'll certainly overwinter them in here, and later on we'll rip them for cuttings again and starts all over again next year. Got some space over the other side just about now, which is good. We're thinking about getting the chilies in here after Chili Festival, and also obviously moving some other bits and pieces in that need frost protection, so it's nice to sort of gain some space already. Through the middle obviously we'll fill up with citrus and all the other exotics like the mangoes and bits and pieces like that, so that's good. And one thing we are doing this year is we've already started bringing some of our larger chili plants, ones where we've got multiples and multiples of, and bringing those in, and they're now for sale. So if you didn't get around to growing your own chilies and you want a giant plant that looks quite spectacular, we've got quite a good range that we're bringing in. They are only for coolers though, because obviously they'd be impossible to pack. They're full of fruit and they're looking wonderful. But no, other than that, in here we're pretty tidy really. So out here in the flower area, we're having a mass tidy up. We're obviously going to leave the dahlias in at the moment. They're still doing beautiful things, but much of what was in here is finished, and the wet weather we had through August has really sort of brought on the weeds wonderfully. So Mark and Dan are struggling to get on top of the weeds in here, because as I say, it was wet and wet and wet, so A, we couldn't get out here, and B, the weeds just carried on growing. But they're winning now, so we'll just clean and tidy this up, let stuff do its thing, and then have a pull out sort of probably, I don't know, beginning of October, something like that. So out here on the beds, in some places it really is starting to look like autumn. The fruit trees are losing leaves or yellowing up, and things like the mulberries are already losing quite a lot of their leaves. And grapes, well, grapes in containers, they really do tend to do this quite early, and that's the point I'm going to make, because every year we have quite a few customers at this time that receive their order and complain that the plants are dead or dying. And of course that's not the case. It is just literally that autumn is on its way. Of course they're going to lose their leaves and the leaves are going to be yellow. It's quite natural. And funnily enough, with container grown stock under overhead irrigation, it usually brings autumn on a little bit early. So as I say, nothing to worry about there. It's quite normal. Out here on the veg garden, there's still an awful lot going on. We put quite a lot of sweet corn in this year, and put it in late, so or should I say we put several batches in at various times. So we've got a late batch over there that's coming along nicely. Asparagus is obviously in fern at the moment. Tomatoes are still producing well outside. Because of the way the weather's been and what I reckon is going to happen this autumn, we've recently put in some more climbing peas and some bush peas, so we'll see what happens there. And similarly, we've also put in some more rocket, some chard, some winter lettuce. That's the seeded Simpson, the black seeded Simpson, and that will actually take most of the winter with no problem. So yeah, we've got an awful lot going on out here. And of course the Jerusalem artichokes have just turned into giants this year. We did give them a feed. This is our bed that we propagate from and lift from, and we did give them a feed, and yeah, they've enjoyed it this year, so they are quite monsters at the moment. But yeah, all in all, veg garden doesn't look too bad. It's still producing and still feeding us all well, so good thing really. So out here in the cell area, we're looking pretty tidy. All the stuff we've been through, blocked it up, moved some fresh pricking outs and production out here as well. Wandering through the veg now. It's that time of year where we're doing some winter veg, not huge amounts, and again, same thing, we do small batches, so we continue to perpetuate and keep nice fresh plants to go out. But yeah, we're all nice and tidy out here, and I guess we'll be thinking about moving some of these bits in soon, not so much for frost protection, but simply to rain protection, and we'll move quite a lot of this in for the winter. It'll go into cold glass, and what I mean by cold glass is we'll actually run through the winter with the vents open. So as I say, it's more to give the weather protection, stop all the wet, because in the small cells that can cause major problems. But yeah, no, we're all pretty tidy out here. So up here in the top house, we've got lots and lots going on really. Obviously down the far end there, we've got all the chilies that are all in tents for seed saving. I think we've got about 40 varieties that we're saving seed from this year. Also we've got a small batch of sweet corn down there that we're saving seed from. It's the strawberry popcorn. So that's seed saving going on down that end. This way we've got quite a lot of herbs, and again it's that time of year where we keep quite a lot of these bits and pieces inside. Cold glass again, so not really an issue with them being planted out, but just keeps the worst of the weather off for us and keeps them a little bit drier when it rains and rains and rains, like it did for most of August. And yeah, young veg for next year, so we've got some asparagus underway there, and of course behind there they're the rest of the chilies for Chili Fest. So bit of a job ahead the next few weeks. We've got to go through these and move them over, space them, get them all into alphabetical variety, and make sure we're happy with everything that's going on. But all in all, yeah, quite tidy in here. So I'll finish off for September here in our little orchard, which in just over a month's time, as I said earlier, 7th and 8th of October, will be where our chili festival will be all underway. And let's hope the day's as nice as it is today, or should I say the weekend is as nice as it is today. But the orchard's done well again this year. We've actually got some plans which I'll talk about later, if we get round to it, or if we think it's all going to be possible. But we've got some plans for this area for next year. But yeah, all in all, that's it for September. As I've mentioned before, Chili Fest is coming up. We'd love to see you all there, and let's hope for a great weekend.